Hey, everybody. We have obviously a large area of showers and thunderstorms that are moving through here in parts of the area, and several warnings issued. And I was going to just go through them here with you. And so, first of all, if you could give me a heads up that you can hear me okay, because I was having some trouble with this, getting this going here. So if someone could let me know, that would be great. Put it in the comments, and then we're going to start tracking these storms, which have been going on for a little while, and I'm a little late getting in here with the program here, as far as the software program here. And so I'm been working on that, but also we are definitely going to be seeing some showers and storms. I'm still kind of just waiting to see if you can indeed hear me. Oh, hey. And
I hear you.
I don't understand that. How's it out there?
It's raining. I just got
Lexi?
stuck in all of it.
I know, I did too.
Meteorologist, you get stuck in the rain.
I did too. The traffic kind of got a little messy with these storms. Okay, so thanks for letting me know, guys. The comments weren't coming up either, but now they're there. So we have, let's just kind of go through these warnings here, and we'll let you know where we have what. And so we'll start off here. And this is severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bradley, Hamilton, and Polk County. And let's see what else we got here. It's a lot. We have this for parts of Hamilton, Marion, and Sequatchie. And, you know, where the polygons are, and it's right along this line. They've just kind of issued the warnings to go along with the line of storms, it looks like. We don't have any tornado warnings, no, but we definitely are going to have a series of, and there's some considerable lightning now in parts of western Hamilton County and extending into just where that storm is exiting up towards Sequatchie County.
Yeah, I passed a car accident in East Brainerd. It's getting bad out.
Lexi says there was a car accident in East Brainerd, and I'm not surprised because it was getting really bad and on the interstate. It was, at least when I was coming in, they were still filtering through best they could. So again, from about, I would say, Polk County, and then through Hamilton, back into Marion and Jackson County, we had the showers and storms. And that is going to be continuing. I'm going to, for a moment here, take these warnings off of here, and we'll take the clouds out of there too, just so we can concentrate on what we have here. So let's just stop this for a moment. And here are the showers and storms as they line up right now. And where you see the white, those are the lightning strikes that we have right now. And that continues to be increasing in some places, not everywhere. But we certainly have that going on in Sequatchie and parts of Hamilton County. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. This area right in here. So that is kind of between Walden and Soddy Daisy is a way to put it. Here's Sawyer Road, Roberts Mill Road, Coral Road. Right through that area is some excessive rain and some very dangerous lightning going on there. Another area that is seeing some of what we were just talking about for Hamilton County, some of these storms, they just line up really in a far place, in a far distance, really, as we see it extending now from near the crossroads and then over towards South Pittsburgh, Bridgeport has just kind of got out of some of that. You know, it's not for everybody, but it is covering up a good piece of our area at this point. Down towards North Georgia, we do have some showers and storms that continue to really not so much develop. They just kind of have moved in. In fact, if we turn back on the loop here, we can see how these have been sliding from west to east, and it has been pretty consistent movement. And let me just put the warnings back up there because I wanted to see, just kind of eyeballing that. It's a little difficult to see how fast some of these storms are moving. So we'll pop one up here, and let's see. And looking. I think this particular warning had anything about the speed of it, so we'll go to another one. Let's see what this has. Moving northeast at 25 miles per hour is what the one up here in Hamilton, Marion, Sequatchie. Let me just read that to you. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 4:15. For southeast Sequatchie, remember we were just talking about that with the lightning and the heavy rain, northeastern Marion and central Hamilton counties. So this information is from about 10 minutes ago. A severe thunderstorm was located near Fairmont, or about 12 miles south of Dunlap, moving northeast at 25. It's kind of cluttered up here on the screen, I understand. I wanted to get that information for you here. Let's see here. Let's move that on out of there. Again, the polygons, what we call the polygons, are where the warnings are. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings. They all are kind of combined here as far as where we are seeing the showers and storms kind of lining up here. So we're going to be dealing with this in these areas here for a little time here. And so there's going to be some heavy rain, could be some flash flooding. And also we have obviously the hazards of the severe thunderstorm. I'm seeing your comments, and I know I don't mean to be ignoring anyone here. I'm just taking a look here now. There's some people, they would like to see some of the rain, I guess, because not everybody has that. But yeah, there has been some, Heather says, some scary wind gusts in Soddy Daisy. And we have, let's see what else here. Hail. And I think I ran through a little bit of hail going through North Georgia and into the state line. Hail and Soddy Daisy off Montlake Road from Heather. And let's see what else we got here. Wind and rain in Daisy. And then we have, let's just see, thunder and windy in Soddy. Soddy Daisy is right in the middle of that, is in the warned area there in central Hamilton County. And that is getting particularly some heavy rain and some strong storms as it continues. Then thunder and lightning in Cleveland, but no rain yet when Judy was indicating, and I see that that probably has changed by maybe in the last few minutes, or is about to. There is a little bit of a lack of right in the middle of Cleveland here. We're not seeing too much of the rain yet, but that will be changing here before too long. Now, Cleveland, you could see some of these heavier storms that are in Hamilton County now, because they seem to be moving to the east-northeast, as are the ones down in Georgia that are kind of extending now into Tennessee across southern Bradley and southern Polk counties. Lake Winnie has just rain from Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. And in Cleveland, Melissa says it's getting dark. That was just a minute ago. Well, be ready, Melissa, because I'm thinking you're going to have some heavy rain moving through and probably so get a little loud with the thunder. So let me know how that's developing. Thundering in South Dalton, Georgia. Let's look at down there in Georgia. That comment here, let me see. That was Cheryl's comment about Lake Winnepesaukee. And then we have Pam, thundering in South Dalton. And so you see Dalton is still not quite into the rain area at this point, or the storms, as it has been kind of still a little north of Dalton. But they did have one cell come pretty close to Dalton, and then but right at the moment, a lot of the storms are north. And so let's see what else we have here from our friends. I'm going to kind of center this up a little bit, and we'll put that into motion. And so just a moment here, and we'll start this back up. But Pam, thank you for that. The information rained in Chatsworth. Now just thundering. Yeah, it must have been from that cell that went through there a few minutes ago. Allison says thunder in Ooltewah, just starting to rain. And the rain will likely get heavier for a good part of Hamilton County. It already is. And so we still got some time to go for that. Whitwell, according to April here, no power where she's at in Whitwell. And let's see, no power on Signal Mountain. This is from Sheila. Wind and rain begin to slow down a bit. Hopefully these will only be temporary power outages, but when the winds come through there, I mean, they can obviously trip something and you know, whatever it may be. But we will see if we can find out a little more about the power outages as we go along here. Catoosa County, just thunder from Katrina. Now that was just now came in from Katrina. Must be in a part of Catoosa County. Parts of Catoosa County have some rain. If you're almost in the middle of the screen here, and then it is broken up just a little bit. We're fortunate so far that this has just been severe thunderstorm warnings. Not that that's a good thing, but hasn't accelerated into anything more. But we still have a little time yet. I also wanted to point out here, off to the south, or off in our southwest part of the viewing area, some considerable lightning now in Jackson County with a strong storm that's moving through the center part of that county, or about to get through the center part, or to the center part. It's really more in the western half, and that has been increasing as well. So you have Pleasant Groves, looks like it's right smack in the middle of that storm, a little south of Princeton. Stevenson also in the middle of getting into a pretty strong cell. Now you see there's some different movements here, some of these cells. The ones that were a little farther east was more of a northeast. This is more of an east-southeast movement. You see how that is. And so Stevenson obviously is just about getting there. Jade asks, is this for the night? No, I don't think so. I think this is going to move through. We've been talking about 2 rounds of storms. Now, we had a small area of storms late this morning, but this is the first one, and then we'll have another chance after this passes by, which I would imagine would be during the next couple hours, and then we will have a break, and then overnight we'll have another chance at some thunderstorms into the morning hours to about daybreak or so. Nicole, there's my friend Nicole. She says, how are things looking? And it has been pretty active, that's for sure here, and some much needed rain, but we don't like to have to get it all at one time, but this is some areas, not very much rain. It's just one of those things that where the line has developed. I was just looking in a lot of parts of Bledsoe County, or all of Bledsoe County, looks like it's been staying dry. The north part of Sequatchie, even back towards Van Buren. Karen says it's hailing about. Karen, I'm sorry if you told me what location you were in earlier. I missed that. It looks like Lookout Mountain, perhaps. I think I found you. So we have hail on Lookout Mountain, and then we have Arlene thundering and rain in northwest Cleveland. And that's what we were saying, that some parts near Cleveland, storming still hasn't just completely covered up the city, but it is starting to. So I think your rain will just be increasing here over the next hour, and with some heavy rain and some dangerous lightning. Thanks for letting me know that you could hear the micro, hear my voice. Now, Loxley says, great name. Just had power flicker off a few moments in Hickson near 153. Hope it stays on because it's still hot and muggy. Yes, it is. Especially just before this got here, we were having a very warm day and some pretty high humidities for sure. Shannon says wind coming and dark in Harrison. And here at News Channel 9, which we're very close to Harrison, we've had some loud thunder, but I haven't heard any here just recently. It looks like it's a little north of us. And let's see what else we got. Amanda was hailing on Lookout Mountain. We had mentioned that. Had hail and some heavy rain and strong wind in Middle Valley near the animal hospital there. I know where that is. We'll get to some more of your comments as we go along here. Monty, thank you. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. It never really completely leaves. You still get on a sniffly and it just lingers. We had this comment from Penny, and that was at 5 minutes after that storms just rolled through Birchwood, and we can kind of see that. And that's a part of this cluster of storms here. Now we're going to go back and show you the polygons and where the warnings are continuing, and there's plenty of them. And again, this is a situation where the Weather Service will just kind of issue the warnings right along the line of storms. And they'll issue them and then they'll reel back once they move through. But the problem here is where the warnings are, the storms have been moving more west to east over the same area, so a lot of rain for some of the same areas going on. That's why I would say that travel certainly is not encouraged at this point in where these storms are, because I'm sure roads are getting some water on them and some flash flooding probably taking place in some places. But every polygon we see on the board right now is in the form of severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to take a quick look here and make sure. Bradley County here also has ended up with a warning here recently, and it's parts of it anyway. And so this covers a lot of area. This is for northern Bradley, southwest Meigs, northwest Polk, southwest McMinn, east central Hamilton. That particular warning with the storms moving east at 25 That is in effect till 45 minutes past the hour. So I'm going to take this message off the screen here so we can continue to see what we need to see. Once again, the storms are just lined up from west to east, from Jackson County through, Hamilton and northern Walker, northern Dade, into northern Whitfield and northern Murray counties, and also up into then Hamilton County, Bradley County, McMinn, all where you see the polygons there. Either the rain and storms are going on or have been, are about to get going. Up towards Athens, it looks like it's staying just a little south of you. It's pretty close. All right, we're going to get back to some of your comments here. Yeah, just repeating, this area of storms is coming through now. And then we're going to see that end this evening, and not really probably too long from now. I mean, it may be another hour or two before this completely gets through from west to east. And then we will be holding off on any more storms until late tonight. And then we'll have another round of showers and storms, as it looks to me. James says rain and strong winds in Varnell. Thank you, James. All your comments are very helpful for me and for others. And thank you, Lisa, for the well wishes. And let's see, we have, in Tellico Plains, it looks like it may be a little bit south of you as that comes through. It's going to be close. Probably will catch some of that, though, because it's going to be just right on the northern fringe of that whole area that's now going into southern McMinn County. The warning was for southwest McMinn County with that particular storm. Some more small hail in Benton from Lisa Thompson. Thank you, Lisa. Ooh. The football games at Finley would... I would have to get some, to be honest with you, I would need to get some direction as far as what times those games were going on.
Maggie, for autumn first, monitor fill, do you think I should just do some handles or something?
And I see that another warning was issued, it looks like here just now or in the last few minutes. As we were talking about northern Walker. Now, let me just see what this warning was. No, that was issued about 5 minutes ago, that the severe thunderstorm warning was in effect now for northwest Catoosa, northwest Walker, and Dade County, all of Dade County. Just trying to keep up with it all. It comes in pretty fast and furious here in these situations sometimes. I'll leave the warning polygons up there just for a little bit here so you can kind of get orientated as far as where you would be, where the warnings are. But it is an interesting layout here because it is from almost directly west to east, because these storms have been, they look to me like mostly from west to east is the movement. There's been a little southeast push as a little more develops, but I don't see any signs of weakening. Lauren was talking to Jade, that quarter size hail, and a lot of it from Lauren. And Lauren, I was looking for a previous comment. If you could let me know, and maybe you as well, about, you could let the others know where you were located, where this hail was. I'm sorry, I may have missed a previous comment again. Winds are picking up in Chickamauga, on Delashment Road. I'm assuming that's the Delashment Road in Hickson. Is still quiet there, according to Randy. We have pouring in Georgetown, cool winds, and large, dark, and clouds appearing to rotate. It doesn't necessarily mean, or usually, or wouldn't mean that there's necessarily a tornado developing, but you will see some rotation sometimes in clouds during these situations. But we don't have any tornado warnings in effect at this point, but we sure do have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. That's about as many as I can remember. 2, 4, 6, 8, looks like about 10 warnings up there. Benton has hail. Looks like that we certainly have our share of hail with these storms, which is, not very common around here. We also have some, if you look, excuse me, let's see if we'll move that. And let's see what else. Hailing in Kohata. So, yeah, we just have, and sometimes you will just have a pocket of storms that are a little taller. They can create this hail. And, when you're in the hail, you're usually right in the middle of the strongest part of the storm. That's for sure. Pay no attention to the alarm. Stand by just for one moment, please. All right, friends. Again, let's see what this says here. This is interesting. Heather Lawrence says approximately 6 strikes of lightning altogether. The power went out and then came back on. Wow. Well, we were just talking about how that lightning was extensive, though that has settled some, I would say, from just not too long ago in parts of Hamilton County where it was really extensive lightning there for about 15 minutes or so, and now that has quieted down. Hamilton County in general is still in some heavy rain, but some of the stronger storms have moved out of Hamilton County. We still have some, I would say, northern and eastern. There's still a couple of cells there. And there is no warning now for Hamilton County. That has dropped off. Some of these will start dropping off that are in this line. You can see some of them have dropped off. The polygons are not quite as connected as they were earlier. They just issued another warning for Jackson County, and that was what we were talking about here a few minutes ago, where the lightning was extensive. And that cell is moving into Jackson County and near High Top, near the radar site. Let's see what else we have here. We have Deborah says, Deborah, thank you for at the Catoosa Tunnel Hill border. Audrey, hello from Spring City. Hello there. Hoping that you're safe. Looks like Spring City kind of avoiding all of the messy weather here in this case. most of the warnings, not all of them. We certainly have storms that are pretty significant going through Bradley County right now, and also about to enter McMinn, and also Polk County under a warning at this point. And again, as I mentioned, back in Jackson County, there's actually 3 separate warnings, it looks like, for Jackson County that cover up much of the county. Now, I wanted, let's see what else we got here. We got some craziness going on here. Yeah, Shannon says, and I was kind of noticing that as well, that it's settled a bit in Harrison. Still hear that thunder that's going on, and that's mostly to your east. That Polk and Monroe line is going to be getting some very heavy rain over the next hour or so, and some dangerous lightning too. Dalton, Georgia will it is very close to the showers and storms that are strongest, and they seem to be sinking towards Dalton at this point. So I'm thinking you're going to have some of that. We can kind of get a little closer in there. The warning is just a little north of Dalton, but the rain areas are certainly there and advancing in the direction of Dalton at this point. These right through here from about Walker County over to Catoosa, and that extends even farther to the east over northern Whitfield and northern Murray counties. Here's one. Chuck says, it's raining so hard in Cleveland, you can't hardly see the street. I believe that, because just looking at these returns, the radar returns, they are some very soaking rains. Earlier, we were talking about Spring City and also in general, some of the counties surrounding that. Ray County, for instance, is not looking too bad at this point. It's they do have some storms still going through, but that isn't going to last, too terribly long. But here's Dayton. But you see, it's been really kind of more south of you in Ray County, and that looks like that's going to be the case, because we're coming kind of to the end game for some of parts of the northwest area. Parts of the northwest viewing area didn't really receive too much of this, but we are seeing this drifting east and southeast a bit. So the more we see that, the better the chance that we're going to be seeing an easing of some of this. Now, one cluster of storms that was noticing here near Calhoun in Tennessee, down towards Cleveland and just a little south of Athens, there's some very intense lightning going on there. So I was checking on the time, 6 p.m. for the Jamboree at Findlay is when the first game is scheduled to start. Now there's a chance that they're going to be out of the rain by then. Already Hamilton County is getting cleared up a little bit from the extensive rain, as far as covering up the whole county. It isn't doing that anymore. And if we watch the movement of that, and that's a very good point, because it will be something that you'll want to consider if you're going down to Finley Stadium, is the chances of thunderstorms. But I'm thinking that that area is going to be pushed to the east and southeast by then. So at least right now, it looks more favorable by that time. Now the field will have definitely will have taken on some water, but it doesn't look like they were in the line of some of the heaviest rain and the steadiest rain. We just continue to have warnings issued here. Let's take a look at some of those so I can get you caught up a little bit. It's hard to keep up. So we have a severe thunderstorm was located near Long Island or near Bridgeport in Alabama, moving east at 20 miles per hour. That severe thunderstorm warning that I have up there is for northwest Catoosa County, northwest Walker County, and Dade County. We had mentioned that earlier. That's in effect until for about 25 more minutes. Well, until 45 after, so about 20 minutes. You notice here that the colors over in Jackson County, the warnings have really covered up most of the county now. And that's because of that last cluster of storms. Now, that'll be the last one that's going through there now, and that'll move on into northwest Georgia, which will likely continue these warnings for a little while in northwest Georgia as well, because we still have that to come through. The Tennessee counties mostly affected at this point are from just the extreme northeast part of Hamilton County, I would say, then into Bradley County and Polk County and southern McMinn. In Georgia, it's more of the along the Tennessee border counties are all being affected by at least some showers and storms, and some of those are quite intense with some dangerous lightning there. Then over in Alabama, we have that the cluster of storms we've been mentioning here, and that is moving through there at this time through Jackson County. And another separate warning for the extreme northwest Jackson County and up into Franklin County. So we still got a lot to go here as it moves east and really just generally east. But there is a little bit of a push to the southeast. Those are just my own alarms. So I'm just kind of letting you watch here, and let me look at some of your comments here. Let's see. Crushed ice hail in Reliance. Interesting. That's from Jade. Brianna, my assumption is when I set this up, it was going out to the News Channel 9 Facebook page, it was going out to the Twitter page, and it was going to my page. The YouTube channel, I was unable to get to connect, unfortunately. I don't know if that's been able to connect since, but I did see a message come up saying that that connection was not connected. Francis, about 5 minutes ago, saying Hopewell was getting pouring rain. Audrey, again, these comments here, about 22 after, Audrey said bad up on Chilhowie Mountain. Wind picking up in southwest McMinn County, which makes sense because that storm is now in southwest McMinn County. If you look towards the top of the rain area there, and on the right-hand half of the screen, That is some that's considerable lightning. A lot of that hitting the ground, I'm sure. And we are continuing to see that move east. You see in Hamilton County, though, a lot of it has moved to the east and just barely to the south of Hamilton County. So Hamilton, Marion at this point is free of storms. Marion could catch some of this. That's back in Alabama and in Franklin County, Tennessee. That'll be a close shave. And then up to the northwest, it is pretty much dry, as things have never really got started well up there. So they had some. Thanks, Samuel, for your comment. And we're going to go down here. Oh, good. That's good to know, Larry, and thank you. That could have been just a temporary message that maybe it had briefly disconnected. So I haven't seen, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen another message to tell me that it's disconnected. So I'm glad that's been working. Thanks for the update on that. 4 thunderstorms in Saudi Daisy today, according to Karen Newman. There you have it. Oh boy, Rebecca, here's one. Doing DoorDash in this. Rebecca, you need to be very careful. I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure that's not the first time, if you're a veteran DoorDasher, that you've had to go through some rough weather. So just be very careful, please. Rebecca, if you have a chance to respond, just where are you DoorDashing? What part of our area? I don't need a street name or anything, but just was curious. It's rumbling in Athens. Let's see what's going on up there. But Athens is going to catch a little bit of this. It isn't as organized right in Athens. Varnell, Georgia, getting hit hard. How long is it supposed to be in or near Flat Rock, Alabama? I would say maybe another 30 minutes to an hour. We'll start to see some improvement, because those storms will be moving. They seem to be moving a little quicker. Noble, Georgia, getting pounded with wind and rain from Rebecca. The tornado threat is always there in these storms, Courtney. That cannot be ruled out ever in thunderstorms. It's been even with all the thunderstorm warnings, we haven't had a single tornado warning with this, which we're grateful for. And remember, we were under a level 1 risk today. So this certainly has come to pass. And we still may see another round later on tonight. In fact, let's go, just for a moment, I'm going to take us away from the radar and show you a future track, and we'll get into our rapid refresh model here, and take a look and see what might be coming our way. But that's going to take me a second. But just stand by with me here for a second as I find what I'm looking for.
Oh wow! A lightning struck a tree and it caught on fire.
That makes sense. We have an awful lot of cloud to ground lightning. Sorry, friends. I was listening to something else here. Trying to catch all the information that comes in and things like this. Okay, now we'll go to our rapid refresh model, and we can kind of get an idea of what we can expect for a little later. So here you see that at 5 p.m., which is coming up, we still have some of these showers and storms, probably a little farther east and southeast. And then as we go through the evening, these diminish. So here's 8 p.m. I would say by then, most of the strong storms are over with. Rain still showing up here as we go into 10 p.m., but more north and south. And then as we continue the movement here, here's 3 a.m. I don't see too much. There's a few storms there up to the north. That doesn't look quite as extensive, but this is just one model too. And the data ends at 6 a.m. So that didn't look quite as bad as it did earlier. Let's look at one other that I like to look at in these situations. Let's see. If I could find it, it would be helpful anyway. Here we go. Now, this may look a little bit different. See, this is at 7 p.m. with showers and storms moving eastward and southeast. And then that moves on off during the evening. And the early morning hours look better here. Don't look quite as stormy, although I will say that sometimes the modeling is a little underproductive as far as picking up these storms. But the storms we're having now could very easily take away some of the threat for later, take some of the energy out. So that would be great if that could happen. So that doesn't look quite as dangerous. We'll get back into radar now. Sorry, Courtney, I left your comment up there. I missed whether or not my buddy, my DoorDasher, if she let us know. Bad lightning from Rebecca. Rebecca had in Etowah. That's that storm that is kind of halfway through the southern half of McMinn County right now. Hailing in, I'm not sure, is that Catlet or Catlet? I hadn't seen that before. Raining hard from Patty, it says in Rock Spring, almost seems like a tornado, she says. Well, there's no tornado warnings, I can tell you that. But when the rain is driving so hard and you have that wind, it certainly can feel like it. But you remember, severe thunderstorm winds can be up to 60 miles per hour, even higher sometimes, but up to 60. That's kind of the guideline. If the Weather Service thinks that a storm could produce 60 mile per hour wind gust, that is one of the criteria to issue the warning. Saudi Daisy looks like it's all done, and I would have to say that that's true. It certainly looks that way. As it clears out of Hamilton County. Southern part of Hamilton County still in some rain, but it's not the thunderstorms that we saw earlier. You know, we had a DoorDasher come here just not too long ago, just in the last 30 minutes. Isn't that right? Yeah. They made it. They are troopers. Thank you, Rebecca. It's really cloudy. Let's see what this says. It's really cloudy, but nothing happening from... Oh, there's old Liz Taylor. Hello, Liz. Looks like we have some trees down in Saudi Daisy, according to Amanda. Hailing in Rock Spring. Now, this message was from just a couple minutes ago, so it's still these storms creating quite a bit of hail. We'll be getting some pictures in, I'm sure. And if I don't want you to do anything that's dangerous, but if you do, after the storms move through, if you have any pictures to send, you could send them to our Chime In page, which we indeed could find helpful in showing the results of the storms. So Dalton's right in the middle now. You know, we were talking earlier, it would look like it might miss to the north, but now they've actually strengthened over Whitfield County and into southern Catoosa. Considerable lightning there. So Dalton, and I was just seeing that the new storms warned for Dalton. Because, yeah, they have the warning out now that extends into Whitfield County. They have two separate warnings now. We'll read those. It looks like two separate warnings. Well, that's not what I needed. And let's see. That is kind of messy. I can't. Let me try that again. All right, let's see if we can do a better job this time. So the severe thunderstorm warning. Now I jumped ahead to the hour by hour. 7, that's tomorrow morning. That's not where I wanted to be. So stand by just a moment here. We'll get back to it. By the way, Ernesto passed through Bermuda earlier. It looks like it is cleared there. But they'll have a lot to talk about. Okay, let's try this again. I see an update coming in. We'll get in nice and tight here to show you the not only the warning polygons, but also the precip as it is now. And you can see that Dalton is right in the smack in the middle of a line of storms that's coming through. So now if we click on, we can read you some of these two warnings. This was actually about 10 minutes ago. May have mentioned that. Severe thunderstorm located over Noble. Yeah, this took up a lot of counties. Southwestern Catoosa, Southwest Murray, Southern Whitfield, Southeastern Walker, Northwest Gordon. Now, some of that is because it's in this line of storms, and it just is affecting a lot of places at the same time. And that's pretty easy to see. That line of storms is very strong. So that'll be, something that is still going to be in place here for a little while as it continues to move. Let's see how that movement looks as it moves from the northwest to the southeast. Overall, as far as the overall, just looking at the storms, there's still some strong storms. The Tennessee counties that are affected mostly now include northern Bradley County. Well, really, almost all of Bradley County has some rain, but the northern Bradley County, southern McMinn, Polk counties all have some of the stronger storms right now. Have to watch out here to the west. I just don't want to just give in and say that's it, like from Chattanooga and back to the northwest, but I don't see really any development. But there is a area of storms that are across southern Franklin County right now, south of Sewanee and into Jackson County. Now, the ones that are on the line there of the Tennessee-Alabama line still could make their way into Hamilton County a little later. So I'm saving the next hour.
Apparently the lookouts are still playing tonight as of right now.
Okay. So if you were interested in going to the Lookouts game tonight, they still are scheduled. They have not canceled. They wait till the last minute usually. And they're probably watching the radar and can see that the rain is getting less and less around here. But again, it may not be completely done. as we have to watch those storms off to the west. So again, I'm talking about this area right here and how that's moving. Could get pretty close into these areas. Now, once it gets here, if it's that strong still, looks like it's weakening a bit. But this area all through here, from now DeKalb County into Jackson, into southern Day, northern Walker, and into Whitfield County, some very heavy rain there and some strong thunderstorms. Also up to a little farther north, kind of a separate area of part of the line there where some warnings are out for parts of Fannin County in Georgia and also in Tennessee, Polk County, Bradley County getting out of most of the real strong storms, southern McMinn. And so those are some of the areas that are being affected right now. Sorry, Scott, I left you up there. Let's get down here to some of our more recent. Rebecca, that's funny. Still thundering in East Ridge, and that's you're just probably hearing that from the storms they're pretty far to the south of East Ridge at this point. But there still could be a little thunder because there's still some rain in southern parts of Hamilton County. It's mostly lighter rain, but there could be a little thunder with that still, just maybe not the cloud to ground lightning. Now, I will tell you that in the next 15 minutes or so, I have to get a few things done for the 6 o'clock newscast, so I may have to break away from here. The good news is that about half of our area has seen a diminishment in the storms, while the southeast half, I'll call it, still has the very strong storms and the dangerous lightning, and I'm sure some small hail as well. This comment came in from Joy. Our power was out east of Lafayette when she gave us that. That was just a few minutes ago. And Samantha kind of also gave us a confirmation of that it was bad in Lafayette. Rain has been now delivered to southwest McMinn County as we've been tracking that. And it does kind of look to me like, let me go back up into that area here real quick, just so I can show you that, because been tracking this area and wondering if Athens was going to be far enough. You may just catch a brief thunderstorm in Athens as that moves through. It's going to be real close. It's much more to the south of Athens. Calhoun has been getting hit very hard with thunderstorms over the last 30 minutes or so. And we still have many warnings in effect along what I would call, the main line of storms. But then you have, an area. Now that warning that was in effect for southern McMinn and Bradley and all that has expired. So we're left with warnings that are just along what has been the main line of storms, now down in North Georgia and back into Alabama. That's a good way to put it, Samuel. I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that from you. Nice report here from Tammy. It's been hailing and storming in Birchwood, Georgetown area. It's slacking a little right now. Thank you for that. Dalton, rain is going away now, not as bad as it was earlier. Let's look at radar while we read that, and I see that it's just barely moving out of the Dalton area and extending back to the west with some of those stronger storms. I appreciate you joining me here this afternoon, and hoping that you're safe and we just can hold out here a little bit longer. A lot of these storms will be moving on out, and then we'll have a quieter period as we go into the evening hours. But still, the North Georgia area and even Northeast Alabama still will have some of these storms, but they are drifting a little better to the southeast, at least the strongest storms. So, we're hopeful that that will continue. Still some rain in southern Hamilton County, perhaps a thunder shower still going on there. We have those storms that are out farther to the west that could still cross through Hamilton County a little later and into Marion County. Marion, Hamilton, it's not as intense, but they still have that warning up for it, but it has weakened some. Thank you, Scott, for that comment. Rocky Face, Georgia. Getting pretty bad here off Mill Creek in Rocky Face from Jeremiah. Thank you. I'm not sure what warning that is. That wouldn't be a severe thunderstorm warning that would last that long. And I don't see anything else right now. Let me take the radar off the screen here so I can see the warnings a little better. I was thinking there might be a flash flood warning or something maybe that has come up, but I don't see one.
We do have a saw it from her brother.
And so that is kind of how we stand right now. These came up very quickly. Then trying to get to the station and get on the air was troubling because of the storms were going on already in Hamilton County at that point. This has been a little over an hour ago now, but these storms have really did strengthen fast. Overall, I'd say we're seeing some weakening of the storms, but there's still one area here in Georgia, and just not too long ago, we were wondering if Dalton was even going to catch some of this. And now they were right in the middle of some of the strongest storms that we've seen on the radar here in the last few minutes. Now it's maybe a little south of Dalton, but very close. Chatsworth in the middle of it, Crandall, and that's where where the warnings still are out. Now, these areas back a little farther to the west, not as much lightning detected, and so that's good news, but still some strong winds and some heavy rain, and still could have some cloud to ground lightning. So at this point, sorry, I keep leaving folks up on the screen here with their comments. This came from Jeremiah. Also, power just flickered off and on and really loud. I think we're going to see improvement in Cleveland. Still, I have this annoying feeling that we could still see some storms overnight, though. I don't think we can just completely discount that. But that would be like after midnight and into the early morning hours. I don't expect at this point that it would be anything like what we have just been going through here. So that continues to move to the east and southeast. I need to go get prepared a little bit for the 6 o'clock news, as I have some things to prepare for the show. At this point, I would call this still needs to be very closely anticipated that areas like Fannin County, Murray, southern Whitfield, southern Walker, and into Jackson County, those areas are seeing the heaviest, strongest storms. Also up into Tennessee, Polk County, into southern McMinn, the southern half of McMinn County, just a little south of Athens. And over towards Murphy, you'll be starting to see some of these stronger storms come through there as they're still holding together and still get considerable lightning. And that's what's really the most dangerous part here, as in my view, also some of the gusty winds we've been seeing. And so that is continuing near Dalton. Power out in parts of Lafayette, Georgia. I appreciate that information from Chrissy. The whole road is without power. Allison has raining hard in Lafayette, as we were just talking about. Here's a great comment from Carol. Love that the humidity dropped here. That's good. And, you know, after this next, if we have another round of showers overnight, behind that will be really the less humid air that will start filtering in. It's still raining here at our television station. So the southern parts of Hamilton County are still, southern half about, still having rain. But it's mostly, I would call it light to some moderate rain. Not so much thunderstorms. Okay, I'm going to need to go here for a time. I'll keep an eye on this. You can also go to Maps and More on our website. I recommend that, where you can keep up with the radar. Also, we have the interactive radar on our website. And at this point, I think that we're going to see these warnings that are right now in Georgia and into Alabama. They'll continue to kind of drop off, but it's still going to be a little time before that happens, as we are just about getting the storms out of the viewing area, what we consider the viewing area in Whitfield County, Murray County. That'll be moving on off into Gilmer County and Fannin County. But we still don't want to let your guard down in some of these areas where the strong storms are. Just stay inside. If you're there, just stay there for now. It's got some power outages in Cohutta as well. And that kind of is the roundup as far as right now. So stay safe, and we'll be on the air in about an hour on News Channel 9, unless we have some program interruption of some sort of sporting event. I'm not sure, but normally not these days. So we will be in touch, okay? And be safe. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. And all your comments have been very helpful. Many, many people watching, and I do very much appreciate that. But I do apologize. I do need to be getting the show ready for 6 o'clock. I haven't done anything for the show for 6 o'clock, so I have to get that ready. But you all take care, and it looks like we're kind of getting towards the end game here, but we still got, for some areas, probably another 30 minutes to an hour before these storms are completely out of the area, maybe even a little longer for the eastern counties, extreme east and southeast counties. Okay, you all take care.